guys, today I want to talk real quick about observations versus inferences and just the difference, and I'm going to go over a couple examples like we did in class. So yesterday we focused on making observations and then the difference between quantitative and qualitative observations. And you're constantly taking in information with all your senses, what you hear, what you smell, what you see, taste, and feel. And then quantitative observations deal with numbers. Think of the word quantity, which means how much, how many. So those are measurable, as opposed to qualitative, which you see the word quality in it. And those are descriptions of something about what you're observing that doesn't deal with numbers. So it's not measurable. And then we took it a step further in class today where you look at observations and then you trying to explain what you're observing. That's when you make inferences. So based on the information that you're observing, different things you're smelling, seeing, hearing, and then you trying to explain what's going on, that's where it becomes an inference. So today, this is what we looked at. So observations is using your five senses to gather information, and it's what you see happening. And then down here it says an inference is a conclusion based on evidence. It's your educated guess, what you think is happening. So today we did this mystery footprint activity where you looked at these tracks and you had to make some observations describing the color, the size, how many. Those are observations. Your inference then would be like, hey, they're going towards each other, or maybe guessing what type of creature they are. Then you got to the middle frame and you saw that your observations are that the footprints are all scrambled up. They're not going in a straight line anymore. Maybe there's some bigger spaces in between the footprints for here, and they're all jumbled up on this spot. Those are observations. Inferences then would be like, hey, they're fighting each other, they're dancing, they're looking for food on the ground, whatever. So those are inferences when you try to explain what it is you're observing. And then the last one, a lot of you are like, oh no. Okay, don't jump to that yet. Those aren't observations. Observations are you explaining what you're seeing. So in this one, you could just describe maybe the pattern or the shape of how they're walking. You could say that the reddish footprints, the smaller footprints, are no longer there. You could count how many of that footprint is there. Those would all be observations. But then once you infer is when you start to explain what you're observing. So some people said that, hey, the bigger footprint one killed and ate the other one. Maybe the smaller footprint one's riding on its back. Maybe the smaller one flew away. Or maybe it's still standing in that same spot. So anytime you try to explain what you're observing, that's when it becomes an inference. Real quick, I want to show you one more thing. This is a picture, okay, obviously. So observations might be like, hey, there are 3 goats. They're on a rocky featured surface. It's cloudy in the background. Those would be observations. And then your inferences might be, hey, they're chasing each other, or the one on the left is the mother, the other 2 are its babies. They're learning how to climb on the rocks or whatever. Maybe they're escaping a predator. So anytime you try to explain what it is you're observing, that's when it becomes an inference. So we'll practice this some more in class tomorrow as well. And then on Friday we'll talk about this concept called skepticism. And then on Monday you're going to have a short quiz over just that. So we've got quantitative versus qualitative observations, observations versus inferences, and then there'll be just like maybe a question about skepticism, and that's it. So keep checking Canvas, keep checking these videos. There's some practice things underneath the nature of science picture, and I'll show you that more in class. But just keep using your resources and keep practicing and doing your thing. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Bye.